Hi, everybody. How are you today? So, I wanted to jump on here really quickly. Now, I know I told you yesterday that I will be keeping you guys updated on the Towanda and Trina Braxton situation. I didn't think at the time when I said that I would be back the next day, but here we are. So, let's get into it. So, Towanda went on her social media yesterday and said that they never kicked Traci out the group back in the 90s, even though Traci said something different. She would go on to say that it was protocol back in the 90s. If you got pregnant, the label would automatically drop you. Of course, people in the chat said that's not true. They said that there was a group called 702, and one of his members, her name was Lamisha. She got pregnant. She filmed the video and worked till she couldn't anymore. And then when she couldn't anymore, they just swapped her with a replacement. And then after she had her baby, she came back. Now, Traci herself did say on the show that they kicked her out the group, and she was very hurt about it. And as a matter of fact, when the show first started, they called her the wannabe. And to most people, it felt like they were ridiculing her for not having a music career and just being a stay-at-home mother. Now, on this video, she does have her fiance on here, the one that everyone's calling very strange. But to our surprise, she also had little Kevin on there. And he pretty much vouched for everything that Towanda was saying. So I'll play that clip, and then right after, I will post a clip of Traci with her therapist. Oh, and I forgot the main part. People are saying that the reason Trina and Towanda are really trying to win Kevin Jr.'s affection, and that's because he's in control of Traci's likeness, which means he can make money off of Traci's likeness. And this is the reason that they're getting so close to Kevin Jr. is because he will be in control of making money off of his mother's likeness. And maybe they're thinking that there'll be enough money to go around for those two also. Now, it's an awful accusation, but this is a gossip channel, and I have to tell you what people are saying. So take a look at these next two clips.
Some of the stuff that you missed. So let me go back to this. So what ended up on the editing room floor is this. So for a long time, it's been the narrative coming from him. It was a narrative that when me, Trina, and Tamar signed with Atlantic Records, that we left Traci. That's the untruth. So let me go way back. So in 1992, we had a deal with LaFace Records. L.A. Reid told us that he wanted us to work with some amazing young producers. So we started doing demo work with Sean. So we started doing demo work with Sean and his other partners, right? This was 1992. Hey nephew, I'm telling them a story. So this was in 1992, y'all. 1992. Traci was on those songs, right? Then in 1995, we signed a deal with Atlantic Records with Bryant Reid, L.A. Reid's brother, right? At that particular time, it was in August when we signed the deal, right? Traci was pregnant with Scratchy in August of 1995. Eric was Trina just had Eric that April of 1995, right?
Right.
So at that time in the 90s, you could absolutely not be pregnant being not a female. You could not be pregnant being in the group. You couldn't do it. Not in the 90s.
You not only could you not be pregnant, you could not be outwardly gay, you could not be outwardly left
Mm-mm.
politically or left
Mm-mm.
or left politically. You had to toe the line. That's just how it was
In the
back then.
90s,
We
yeah.
have evolved since then, but it
Yes.
was not like that, man.
Mm-mm.
Right now, you could probably be pregnant on the
Oh,
album.
you can do it a lot now,
You ain't doing
but you
that shit
couldn't
back
do
then.
it in the 90s.
Hell no.
Could not do it in the 90s. It was a group, actually, and the girl got pregnant, and their career was over.
Over.
A lot of them was over. So anyway, moving forward, that was 1995. So little Kevin, scratching Kevin, was born January 10th. That's your birthday, right?
Sure is.
I know.
Go with it.
He was born January 10th, 1996. We had a photo shoot January 13th, 1996. We couldn't do it. We couldn't happen.
Right.
Traci just had Kevin. So then, even though we worked on our album in Atlanta, Traci also, if you look on the back of the Braxton's album, you will see Traci's name as one of the writers on the songs that we wrote.
Mm-hmm. But don't.
And she sang some background on one song.
I can
It
speak
was
on that.
Lady, Ladi, Lady. Come on, let me give you history.
Okay, I'm listening.
Let
I'm
me get
listening.
let me give me some
Mm-hmm.
more history. Then what happened was we went out on the road with Luther Vandross.
Mm-hmm.
We only went on the first half of his tour, right? Then we went to Japan. Then we came back. And when we came back, we were about to go overseas to go on tour with Tony. It was Tony in Mint Condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1997. Come on, let's do the math. That was only a year,
Right.
right? We were like, listen, I was like, Tony, we should introduce, we always said that the second album we were going to introduce Traci as part of the group,
Right.
right? So when we went overseas with Tony, before we went overseas, I said, Tony, is it cool? As you know, we want to make sure that we introduce Traci overseas. Is it cool that we bring Traci? Tony said yes. It took 3 days. I practiced with Traci every single day to show her every single move and every single song. I got her with Terrence Lee Jones, rest his soul, to teach her every last part of every last breakdown from us going on tour. Guess where your mama went?
Where?
Overseas with us.
Right. Right. Right.
So when people create this negative narrative that
Mm-hmm.
we left her, that's a goddamn lie. That's a lie. But they want to keep that thing going to say, oh, we left her. No, we didn't.
Crash and burns means I'm taking life by the horns.
Okay.
You know, life is my bull, and I'm taking it by the horns, and I'm following my dreams. And you know, we tend to have parents or friends or other families say, you know what, don't do about that dream right now. Don't worry about that dream. You need to do this right here. Then you miss your blessings.
Right.
I'm finally starting to do my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And if I crash and burn, if it fails, if it's not become where I want it to become,
Right.
I did it for myself.
Right.
And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can just brush myself off and say, okay, I can do this too.
Yeah. Well, your challenges were different than your sisters. For those who don't know the Braxton story and how you were part of the group,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had to leave the group, and now, you know, I think the reality show maybe had brought you back into
Yes.
the industry. Tell them the story on how you were a part of it, but then you came out.
Okay, I was a part of the sisters with the Braxtons. That was with Arista Records.
Right.
Tony was signed with LaFace record labels. Even though we was her part of the group anyway, she was just the front person.
Right, right.
And then we signed with LaFace record label, me and my three sisters,
Right.
Towanda, Trina, and Tamar.
Okay.
And then I became pregnant because it was going somewhere else,
Right.
and I wasn't able to sign. They gave me a decision during that signing day.
Right.
Either you get rid of the baby or you can sign.
Right.
So, you know, I chose my child.
It's getting real, people. It is getting real. She just said that they gave her an ultimatum: terminate the pregnancy and continue on with the group, or Go home and be a mother while we continue on. Listen, this is deep. This is really, really deep. I wish this conversation would have taken place when Traci was with us. I mean, the fact that she's no longer with us makes it more, I don't know, heartbreaking if this is not true. So I don't know, guys. They probably should have never came on the show. They should have just left it where it was. But that's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Until next time, bye for now.